Hey, everybody. Happy Star Trek Tuesday, everybody. It's your favorite day of the week. It's your favorite time of the week. It's the best day ever because it's time for the main viewer. All the news of the week. So much good stuff. You're going to love it. It's super exciting. We got a lot of crazy news. First of all, we have a gigantic announcement. If any of you saw Star Trek and Chill last Friday, we have an announcement that rivals last week's announcement, like right neck and neck with last week's Star Trek and Chill extreme announcement. So stay tuned for that in just a moment. We also have, of course, Saru and Doug Jones are in the news talking about Discovery. Really interesting things to talk about there, talking about dignified things. We've got some announcements for virtual TrekCon 5. What else is there? Oh, there's a fun little post about books. We'll be talking books in a moment as well. That's really interesting for you to enjoy. Also, Seven and Rafi, you know them from Picard. There's a new novelization going on there to talk about as well. So much to talk about. There's some VR stuff that I just don't even understand. Thank goodness we have. Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Nicolas Cage is going to be in Star Trek if it's up to
What?
him. If it's up to him, put the bunny back in the box. Remember that from
Yes.
Good. Thank
It's one of
God.
his favorite, one of my favorite lines of Nick Cage, and I won't
Me too.
say, yeah, that's all
Uh,
I'll say about
so
that.
that's really exciting for all of us. Also, the Gorn are in the news. Gorn gangsters, that is. So check that out.
Ooh.
There's way too much, but this VR stuff, it's too smart for me. I don't get it. But we do have, thankfully, Scott Baker here to explain it all.
Hey, I have no idea what it is, but let's go.
Somebody's better know because I don't get it. Look, everybody, Melissa Longo is here wearing a brand new shirt, it looks like.
Ooh.
Yes. I wanted to be a Bozeman Phoenix fan too, so I needed one of these. I needed one of these. And it's got that little logo on the back.
It's amazing. Everybody, you can get
It's your
your
magnifying
Bozeman
glass.
Phoenix's shirt in any size and color and different styles as well at the Star Trek and Chill online store at the description box below. Click that link, get your shirt, or get this beautiful Cisco family shirt. Look, the entire family's here,
Yeah.
Ooh.
including Jake's little sibling.
Yeah, so
Wow.
cute.
Great one. And my name is Ryan T. Husk, and the walking exclamation point is here, Dr. Anne Marie Siegel.
Hi.
You guys, she's had a very stressful day. Let's just say she went so far as to calling a dentist office for us this morning.
Wow.
In Colorado.
Yeah. More on that
No, it
eventually.
can't be revealed.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So, lots of news to talk about, everybody. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, give us a 5-star rating if you're listening in, and a nice review. We'd really appreciate that. How's the live chat doing? Whoa, it's popping. It's got people like Joel, Joshua M. Patton. Hey, Joshua. Melissa H. We got Allison Leach Hyde out in New Mexico. It's a fun place. Just Rosie, Linda Anderegg, May Borello, Lane Page. Hello, Glenn Iverson, Dave Gregory, Chuck A. We see all of you, KL Bliss, Chason. We got all of you, War Dog Heim out in Montana, Fran Iverson. All right. So, first things first. Do any of you remember last Friday, Star Trek and Chill, the Brent Spiner requested to join the virtual TrekCon group? It wasn't like a fake Facebook page.
It's an imposter page that I've reported multiple times. Yes.
No, it was a real, you could tell because he said things like, hello, all my fans, I love you very much. And I'm like, that's so Data and Brent.
The most
Yeah.
flattering pictures of himself. I mean, why wouldn't it be him?
Right. So the point is, everybody, we have a gigantic announcement. Here it is. I'm just going to show you. This is at least as big. This is in the 7th Rule podcast Facebook group, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You might think, oh, that's a fun group, and it is. But if you go over here to participant requests, you will have your mind blown. Check this out. Jerry Ryan. It's her personal page, you guys.
What?
It's her personal. She just joined Facebook 5 weeks ago. It must be, and she's already in 37 groups.
Amazing.
It's gotta be, wow,
amazing.
this is. She requested 2 days ago, but I felt like this was such a big, gigantic news item that we had to just make her wait so that we could. What do you guys think? It's obviously her because it says it's her personal page.
But
Well,
we
it's got a
have to look
picture.
at her
The picture's
pictures
her.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that confirms it. Okay, let's check out the pictures.
Oh,
What?
oh,
Wait a
oh,
second.
it's totally her.
Wait, what just happened?
There's no content available.
What?
Well, maybe it's like set to super private because it's like her personal page.
Oh, you know,
I
that
told
she
you.
doesn't-
I wasn't even allowed to see it. I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
she learned from Brent Spiner that."
super personal.
Maybe it's the same. But that, I think Scott's right. I think that confirms that it's her, that she just wants to go in and sneak around and lurk. She doesn't want all the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh, hang on. I'm getting a call from People Magazine. I think it's about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just get that.
Is that even still a thing? Is People Magazine still around?
I don't know. I panicked. I just tried to come up with something. I was like,
is.
What's a
Miller was
magazine?
just in it like 5 days ago. So good.
Target audience right there.
All right. So another good piece of information as we get started on this show, everybody. If you go over to the Facebook page of one Randy James, he says, Randy James is an actor that's been in a ton of Star Trek episodes. I think it was Next Generation. Tons of good stuff in there.
Tons of Deep Space Nine.
Uh-huh.
And the movies.
Oh, right.
Like all of those. Like probably 100 at least episodes.
How many?
I'd say like, I was just looking at this a few hours ago. I would say like eyeballing it like 100 altogether, but
we'll see.
Good work.
Boy, he says, we went to a movie theater or a movie near my house a few weeks ago, and we happened to go by the salon and noticed this sign in the window. I thought, I need to meet this person. I went in today and got a real haircut. Mott's Barber Studio. What?
Mott Street, probably.
That's like Next Generation, Mr. Mott.
No, it's actually named for Mr. Mott.
What?
And it says, the best barber in Starfleet.
That's amazing.
Look at this.
Wow. That's so cool.
And a Ghostbusters fans, A-OK-O 2.
Yeah.
I don't know about 2.
Well, Ghostbusters is good no matter what.
Doctor
Right.
Who.
So that's amazing.
Can't wait for the new Ghostbusters.
Is that before or after the haircut?
I don't know. But so this is, I mean, we've got to get, you know what we should do? We should get Randy James on Virtual Trecon 5.
Well, funny you should mention that.
Yeah. We really should. Well, why is that funny?
Because he's been announced.
Oh, yeah. Check it out, everybody. If you go to the Virtual TrekCon Instagram page, check this out. Scott's typing it in for us right now. Look at that.
Oh
Newest
my gosh.
announcement. Randy James, just announced.
Woohoo!
What a deal. And look at all of these amazing faces here for all of you to enjoy.
I love that banner, that top banner. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
Really nicely
cool.
done.
Look at
I
that.
love that.
Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful people and humans. You guys are going to love Raven, by the way. She's going to kill it. Dayton Ward, John Billingsley, of course, Dr. Abigail Freeman, so many beautiful faces and recognizable people. And it just goes on forever. Denise and Mr. Delancey, Armin, Nana, Mr. Frakes. So everybody, you've got
Mr.
to get
Lofton.
on the virtual TrekCon bandwagon because it's like next week. It is, I know.
Soon.
It's February 19th, Thursday through Monday, everybody. So go to
15th through
virtualtrekcon.com.
19th. Yeah.
What did I say?
February 19th. It is part of it, but 15th through 19th.
It's February 15th through 19th, Thursday through Monday. Go to virtualtrekcon.com for all the details and to buy tickets. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's free.
Oh,
Free
I just
tickets.
have on my Twitter too that says like my name and then the coming soon arrow for Virtual TrekCon 5. So it's officially happening. So
That's how you
excited.
know.
Yeah. Sci-Fi Sisters did it. I was like, oh man, I have to keep up with them. They're always on the ball of like what convention's up next.
Okay. So here's the first item up for bid, everybody. Because Scott knows Mr. Doug Jones very well. So check this out, everybody. Check this out. This is from our good buddies over at trekmovie.com. Interview. Doug Jones talks Dignified change for Saru in Sentimental final season of Star Trek Discovery. Look how
He's
sad
such
that
a
is.
snazzy dresser.
So it reads in part, this is by Anthony Pascal. By the way, everybody, this is breaking news. This is just like a couple hours ago. Incoming message. So,
Fun. You're
wow,
right.
this is a long interview. What's going Melissa and Anne-Marie, what are we missing here? This, oh, yep, you know this is a Doug Jones interview when he says rubber bits. He loves to say rubber bits, although little rubber bits. I'll read this first part. It says, have you come to grips with Discovery ending? Doug replies, well, I kind of had to. I had no choice, right? I bet he guffawed there. There's a part of me that's melancholy that it's the 5th season and final season. Nobody wants to hear final, but at the same time, I think in this day and age, to get 5 seasons is really good with television the way it is now. But the other part is a bit of a relief. I was just talking about memorizing large blocks of science fiction dialogue. That's very difficult. And so I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, yay. And also the rubber bits. I love Saru. He's part of me now, but he also comes with a look that's glued on to me. And taking that off for the last time was like, oh, that's good. I don't have to wear that again.
Especially
And then
those shoes. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah.
And then Anthony, the questioner, says, but you did have to wear it again. And Doug replies, oh, when we came back, yes. We did come back to do a short epilogue that'll be tacked on to the end of the last episode to give you some closure for the entire series. Yes. So what else do we have there, guys?
Well, I'll like summarize the next part. It basically they're talking about how Michelle Paradise commented on how there's a shift in tone for season 5. And so Doug is saying like Saru specifically, because like he's like had so many changes over time, like losing his fear ganglia, getting promotions, being on different parts of the ship. And so he says like this is a very, very much a pivot and a pivot for the more sentimental Saru. And he's in a new position, which I'm hoping is father, with Tarina as the mother.
Oh, I was going to suggest ambassador
That too.
on Vulcan so that Tarina and Saru can be together.
Yes,
You,
both.
yeah, you guys always go straight for the shipping.
Well, Tarina and Saru, yes.
Or a tea shop owner. Any of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Because
tea shop owner?
he and Tarina like bonded over the ceremonial tea.
Right.
And that's when they started making eyes at each other. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
Well,
love
so-
ceremonial tea in Star Trek.
Mhm.
Just love it all. Yeah. Anyway.
Chamomile
yes,
tea.
exactly.
So, Scott Baker here has actually directed Mr. Doug Jones in the past. Could you give us all a little bit of insight as to what Doug is like on set? Is he a rascal? Does he cause problems and, bellyache and oh boy,
yeah,
just
he's
eat
a
all the
grumpy
donuts?
guest. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think anybody who's like seen him at a convention or anything like that knows that Doug is like the sweetest guy like in the known universe. Uh, he's just like one of those guys that just you can tell he's happy to be doing what he's doing, and he loves being on set and he loves working and for Fifth Passenger he wasn't in all this makeup, so that was a thing for him that was like exciting to kind of just be there and just be himself and act and not have to put on all the rubbery bits. And so he was definitely a little more at ease with us, and our film definitely wasn't like Star Trek and these others because it was a low budget project and stuff like that, so we were having fun and doing the work and everything like that. But yeah, he's just a pleasure to be around, like on and off screen, and he's takes directions well. He's a great actor, and we had this idea for what the character would be, and he came in with a little bit of his own ideas and kind of shaped the character around who his personality is, and it was just it's just like a pleasure to be with, and couldn't think of a more enjoyable actor to have and to work with. And he's always somebody that I look at when I'm putting another project together. I was like, maybe I could, but he's so busy with the Star Trek stuff and everything else. It's
Yeah, I think everybody, when they start a movie, they go, how can I squeeze Doug Jones in there? Because he's just so freaking incredible at his craft and adorable as in real life.
Mhm. It's
if
just
you
so
go to the article,
snuggly. So snuggly.
there's a really good section that like kind of touches on Starfleet Academy, that if you scroll down a little to like, you said you are somewhat relieved. That's like the bold start.
Let's see. Okay.
Because I've just been dying to hear about Starfleet Academy and how it relates to Discovery. So I think this is a really interesting tidbit. So he said,
Ooh, it's a rubber bit. Well, hang on one moment. I also want to show this cool image of what we're talking about here when we're talking Discovery Season 5. There's Book, Tilly, the whole gang. This is a new guy. We don't know this rascal yet, do we? I think we got his name, but we don't know anything about him.
It starts with the C.
All right. Perfect.
But just look at Saru's boots.
oh,
yeah.
That was a
God,
close
after
one.
breaking my ankle last year, that like looks painful.
Yeah.
I was just looking at how mad I am that this guy's like 50 and ripped. Ober, he's just
I'm
so
not mad about
freaking ripped still.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Not mad
Actually,
about
Saru, Doug Jones is ripped at
it.
60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here it is. The question is, you said you are somewhat relieved,
Professor.
but they're making another show. Would you put the makeup on again for Starfleet Academy? Like, what if they wanted Professor Saru to show up?
Ooh.
You're right, Emery. Interesting little snippet here. Doug Jones replies, Starfleet Academy. I hear it's in our same timeline. So that now, of course, everybody pause on that for a moment because everybody uses the term timeline when I think we mean era.
Yeah.
Because if he
Mhm.
says, I hear it's in the same timeline, we're like, okay, well, so is almost everything except for like the JJ, Kelvin movies, right?
I don't even
Yeah.
know anymore.
But it does say, so that's one show that I could cross over. So that, suggests that in his era.
So he says, so that's the one show that I could cross over. I guess if any of us could, or I guess any of us could. Will we? I don't know what the writers have in mind, but I think Saru would have a lot to offer a class of kids, wouldn't he? With his wisdom and his instructional ways. He's been that way on the bridge of a starship in Discovery, or on the Starship Discovery anyway. So that is the interesting tidbit, guys, is the same timeline. I think he means era, but this is something we all pretty much knew. It hasn't been confirmed officially, but again, the main thing was the statement that Star Trek.com released saying it's that Starfleet Academy has been closed for 900 years or something like that, and now it's reopened. So we're like, okay, so we
Yeah,
know.
there was that weird social media post that was like,
Yeah.
are you gonna join? Like,
So we know that it has to be at least in the 3000s. So definitely Discovery era. What do you think, Scott? Are you excited about that?
About Doug joining the Academy? Which part am I excited about?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I think the more Saru, the better. If he wants to jump over, but if he feels like maybe it's for him personally in his career, he wants to move on from Star Trek and putting all the makeup and all that kind of stuff on. Then, but I think as we've seen now that we've gotten all these different shows coming up, that they are bringing in characters, and maybe it's something that he takes a break, and in 3 or 4 years there's some other show that comes up, or it's the season 3 or 4 of the Academy one, or the Section 31, or one of these other shows that come out. Then they decide to bring him in a cameo episode, or or a guest spot episode or something.
Yeah. I have to mention Faith Howell's comment. She says, I'm excited about everything.
Yes.
So cute. I am too. Yay.
Okay, so we got a poll in the live chat, everybody. The question is, do you think Saru will make an appearance in Starfleet Academy? Yes or a no? That's the big question. That's the $1 million question. If I had to get,
I mean, natural fit for it. If Tilly's gonna be in it, and I'm not saying that we have any information on that, but if it is set in the era of Saru, then Tilly has already been, the seeds have been laid out for her to participate in directing that. And then I think Saru would be a natural fit.
Yeah, I mean, Tilly, that's another one that's all but guaranteed she's going to be in it, unless something has changed. It felt like it was a very obvious spin-off backdoor pilot that they were giving us when they're basically, saying Tilly is going to Starfleet Academy. She's leaving Discovery, but she's going to Starfleet Academy. Oh, by the way, everybody, we have a Starfleet Academy show. Have you heard?
Right.
We're like,
Yeah.
That seems about as sure as, Georgiou is leaving Discovery to go into Section 31. Oh, by the way, everybody, we have a Section 31 project coming. Did you hear? Yeah, so.
More like, hey, here's the Maquis. There's a lot of trouble going on in the Badlands.
That's from like 30 years ago.
But I mean, Star Trek has a history of doing that. So
it's true. All right. Zanzu Primo says someone needs to make a shirt Hug-a-Dug, like climb a rock.
That's cute.
That is cute.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Oh, Shag840 says Mystery Men is an epic, awesome movie that does not get its recognition. Thanks for bringing that up. Whoever it was that brought it up, Mystery Men, Doug Jones was in that one. He was like, I think he was like Pencilhead or something like that. Remember he was one of the Mystery Men applicants or something. I haven't seen it since
Oh yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen it.
way back then.
It's pretty funny.
Oh.
It's got
Ben
Paul
Stiller.
Rubens in it. Ben Stiller.
Wasn't
Oh.
that the one that just slayed me when Ben Stiller, wasn't he like Mr. Furious or something? And he's like so mad and he's like trying to get into a car. Or he's doing something. He's like, he's like freaking out, like fighting. That part slayed me.
Is Janine Garofalo in that?
Seems
No.
like it. Yeah.
It feels right.
William H. Macy. Oh, look
Oh.
at cast. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a shovel guy or something.
Yeah, the shovel or
Wow.
something like that.
The human shovel. Anyway, so
Oh yeah.
they mentioned
just-
Tilly.
Yeah.
Here was Doug at the
Oh.
Academy Awards with his
Paul Rubin
kimono.
was there too.
With the Saturn Awards, yeah.
Ooh, the Saturn Awards, yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. He's got like a thing on his bow tie. He's got like a
So
He's so
cute.
pumped. Well, was he there because what we do in the shadows and not Star Trek though? So
maybe.
kind of it was a good look.
Oh
for that.
yeah.
How
Yeah,
does
They
this
were
guy
not
like-
together.
Very, 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 very vampire look there.
Vampiric counseling.
He was,
I love
Yeah, he
the
was-
tassels on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the
yeah,
bow
yeah.
tie.
epaulets.
Right. Epaulets.
It's like that or Mirror Universe. The sash.
Didn't that article say that about the Mirror Universe in the Trek movie article?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So you scroll down just a tiny bit more in the interview. And Anthony says, thanks. And since this is the red carpet, love the outfit. Can you tell us anything about it? Who are you wearing? Doug says it's a 1980s vintage tuxedo with a short waist that I kind of accented a bit. Anthony says, you kind of look like you're from the Mirror Universe with that sash. And Doug says, I do, yeah. Either that or a bellhop. Someone is going to ask me to carry their luggage before this night is over, I'm sure. So that's funny.
Wow.
It is funny.
Good old Doug. Always
So
dresses
cute.
like a champ. Oh, more on the Saturn Awards later as well. Those of you who know, a couple days ago, the big news was Next Generation was honored. Patrick Stewart won an award. I think Jonathan Frakes did as well. We'll look into that a bit more deeply as well. But check this out. Our good friend, Jenny R. Johnson, tweets out at twitter.com. Hey, where is Jenny today?
I think it's
Yeah,
called
she's on-
X these days.
I think she's on Twitter. Yeah, she is our ex now. Because, so she says, she tweets out, don't think about it. Don't try to be cool. What's your favorite book? Oh,
Yep.
Canadian style favorite. Are you going to tell us what color it is too? And then it continues. To be fair, Vendetta ended up coming out on top, but I didn't discover it until a year later when I was 12. It was A Rock and a Hard Place by a landslide.
Aww.
So this is a Next Generation book, A Rock and a Hard Place, the new novel by Peter David. Commander Riker fights for survival on a desolate world. Whoa, how fun.
Is that a romance novel?
Yeah, kind of. I guess that's a wolf.
It's like some sort of like love triangle between Riker, Dr. Troy, and a wolf.
Yeah, with spikes. It has like a few spikes on it.
So good.
So, of course, as soon as I saw that, my first thought was 12, favorite novel, easy. It wasn't one. It was a trilogy.
Oh yeah.
And it was The Lord of the Rings. And The Hobbit. Actually started with The Hobbit, of course. You really got a Hobbit. Scott, do you remember your favorite novel when you were 12
Oh, when it was 12.
years?
Might have been like I really, I liked the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That was one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like about 12 books I was reading at the time. But yeah, that's one that I remember reading and liking a lot. That the first one that comes to mind for sure.
You know what's funny is I just remembered when I used to walk to middle school in like 7th grade when I was 12. And I just read The Lord of the Rings, and I was walking. I had to walk through this big park, and on a tree in that park, somebody had carved out Frodo lives. And I remember walking by that when I was in middle school, going like, "Hey, I know what that means. I understand that reference." And I was
Hilarious.
very pleased with myself. I can still picture it. It was just to the left. Melissa, did you have a favorite book when you were 12?
Well, I was trying to think, but the first one that popped into my head was probably The Witches by
Oh, by
Roald
Roald
Dahl.
Dahl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
What's that?
The Witches is well, to me, when I was a kid, it was really creepy, and I loved creepy, scary stuff as a kid. I loved really gory stuff as a kid. I was a huge Garbage Pail Kids fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right, now I'm listening.
Yeah, people would go and buy baseball cards, but I would buy Garbage Pail Kids cards and then chew the really rock hard gum that came with the pack.
Yeah. It was like paint chips, right? You like bite it, but we thought it was so good. We're like, oh yeah, crunch.
It was, yes, and the crunchier the better. It was part of the experience. But the Witches came to mind, or James and the Giant Peach, probably. It may have been younger than 12, but those are the ones that I remember the most.
Mm-hmm. James and the Giant Peach.
Or Wind in the Willows.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
Right around there, right around that age. I feel like for me it was a little bit before that, but that was a good one. Dr. Anne Marie Siegel, what was was it a biology book?
I was obsessed with A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And then also the autobiography of Golda Meir. Those were like my two favorites, which are still on my shelf.
Wow.
I maybe just stole them from the library. And now I feel guilty about it because I'm like, I robbed other people getting to read them, and I never paid them mine. But
yeah, well, yeah, I have to say, Diary of Anne Frank was up there too for me. Now that you mentioned, so good.
That's a big one. That is a big one.
Well, especially because the autobiography of Golda Meir. Well, the reason I read it was because there was a TV movie and Leonard Nimoy played her husband. And he was so good in it. So then I was like, oh man, I need to like get the book that this is based on. It's such a good actor and everything.
Let's say hello to our good friend, the Matt Boardman, in the live chat popping up. What's up, the Matt, who made this cool graphic behind us? Actually, this is also a variation of an original graphic made by Scott Baker, FYI.
Yeah, has Matt been doing all the graphics for the website and all the stuff on the social media stuff?
Many of them, and a lot of like cool, when you see like cool videos and visual effects things, or like at the beginning of videos and at the end, he also does those as well.
Yeah, he's really stepped it up a notch. I know I was just kind of throwing things together.
No, you were the best. You were the best.
Yeah, well.
Seriously, like when we first started doing virtual Trecon back in the spring of 2020, we're like, dude, can we do this? And we're like, yeah, let's just do it. And Scott was like, load me up. So we're just like piling stuff on him, and he's just like knocking it out like this on his computer.
Yeah.
So awesome. And when the first time I saw the red carpet roll out in that video you made for the
Uh.
Lappies.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
No,
so
yeah. Remember when he
good.
Oh
actually
wait, when
went to
you
the
went to like the
live
actual
in Hollywood? He's
Oh my
like, "Oh, we got
God.
pandemonium out here."
Love that.
That was the best.
Yeah, and I cut those. I cut those two girls. They're like, "Oh, yeah, sure. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
They're like, "Leave us alone." You're like, "I will never."
yeah.
So good.
That was fun. Maybe I'll do
Yeah.
that again. I saw them setting up for the Lappies again, so maybe I'll stop by and see
Perfect.
what's.
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
people with tents this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're out there. It's raining like crazy, but they're setting up for the Lappies. I mean, it's like,
Troopers.
oh yeah,
Nothing's gonna stop them.
True.
Oh yeah, rain or shine. Yeah.
Our buddy War Dogheim, who's out in Montana, is singing a song to you. He says, "You're simply the
Simply
best."
the best.
Oh, I love Tina Turner.
That's not my name.
Could be.
Could be. But I would say about the Garbage Pail Kids, I was super into them and I really
too.
liked them until I opened up a pack and there was Scotty Potty. And then everybody at school, oh, it's Scotty Potty. Oh, it's Scotty Potty. And I was like, oh, why did this have to happen? It's like of all the like there were like people had cool ones that were their names, and it was like, Atom Bomb and stuff like that,
Mine was Fry and Ryan. I was like a Godzilla guy or something.
I see that's a line cook.
Yeah,
you were a line
cool.
They
That's
never
cool,
had
but-
my name.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, now I'm kind of happy.
yeah.
Yeah, there's probably another
Scotty
Scotty. I feel like there's one maybe like a Live Wire one.
I think
or
there's
something.
more one. Yeah, more.
Yeah, I
than
think there
one
was
Scotty.
another one, but that wasn't the one that stuck.
I still have mine. I think there's like 800 of them. I think I have like eight.
That. So like when I fell in love with Seventh Rule, like one of your first episodes, like somebody mentions Garbage Pail Kids. And Sirach like reaches over, he puts like his arm off camera and comes out with like this really thick binder and he's like, this is one of many. And it's just like a million Garbage Pail Kids like sleeves that he clearly had like in his bookcase. That was hardcore.
Garbage
and I was
Pail
like, this
Kids.
guy is so cute.
I first started holding my collection of Garbage Pail Kids in an empty sliced bread plastic bag, those sliced breads that they used to but it filled up. It was almost like I almost had like a full loaf worth of garbage.
Oh my God,
they might actually still be in that sliced bread plastic. Anyway, I think we're off topic a little
we
bit.
didn't have cool card containers back then.
Right. So everybody in the live chat, the point of that whole thing was to let us know what was your favorite book or novel when you were 12 years old. Just let us know that. We would love to know. The correct answer, of course, is Lord of the Rings, but you can have your own. So up next, okay, since we're talking about toys and what, we played with pieces of paper, that had like a dumb picture with snot on it and a piece of gum on that snot that we thought was amazing. Here's what people apparently get to play with nowadays. This is from prnewswire.com. OTOY, don't know what that means, launches groundbreaking multi-hour Star Trek spatial experience for Apple Vision Pro in partnership with Paramount Game Studios and Roddenberry Entertainment. What?
Yeah, this sounds really cool.
This is big time.
And like I first heard about this maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. There was a podcast where Larry, like, I think maybe he was interviewing Doug Drexler, and Doug Drexler, will talk about things for hours. So it was like a 3-hour podcast, kind of like it was like a recording of a Zoom or something where people had come to like look around at like a prototype. And I mean, so it's with Roddenberry Archive, and I think they've been working on like getting to this point for like years and years and years and years.
Yeah, even 2019 at the Star Trek STLV in 2015, not 19, 15, or was it 19? No, it was 2019. It was Aaron's last convention where we actually got to play in the virtual universe and do the VR thing. And it was so cool. It was so awesome because we got to be alien characters and then talk to people as alien characters from across the globe. It was pretty rad. Yeah. After you get over the dizziness.
Matt Boardman worked on it. Whoa!
What?
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow. Matt Boardman worked, and they wanted him for this next one, but he's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy working with virtual Trecon bros. You got to just relax, have some popcorn, calm down.
It's amazing. Like, well, it coincides with that, like Google, whatever it's called, Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
And so it's all over the news. And there are like a bunch of YouTube videos where people like do a walkthrough of what it looks like.
Let's see them now.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
video capture. Check this out, everybody.
I think
You guys,
first step is
Yeah.
do you guys want to see this walkthrough? Or nah, probably not, huh?
Yes. Press play.
Oh, yeah,
Do it.
nah, it's probably not something you guys. All right. So here it is. Those of you listening in, they're looking through somebody's quarters of the Enterprise D. This guy's holding a D.
Little statue
Kind of skip
thingy.
ahead. Yeah, there's
if
somebody.
you skip ahead, there's like a part where they start walking on Deep Space
Yeah, here it
Nine.
is.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. The promenade.
So cool.
Ooh.
It's loading still, though. Getting dizzy.
I know.
Nice.
It,
Okay,
that's
here we
Yeah.
go.
that also like I really like being able to magnify print to read it. And
Yeah.
I feel like that might stress you out.
How
It's like so much information.
cool
You are
is
very
that?
anal about that. You would want to get screenshots of every
Yes,
single
like
bit of
that's the issue.
text.
Can I screenshot on VR?
Look at this. Wow.
That's
So we're
so
climbing
cool.
through the halls of Deep
airlock.
Space Nine. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna keep us.
There's
It's all
no
empty.
shuttle out
There's
there.
nobody there.
I know. I'd love to see people. I'd love to see Quark going like, hey,
Mhm.
welcoming you. Kind of lonely.
Still, how
If you
cool.
if you
Yeah, I feel
played
like there's a problem.
if you played like that Dennis McCarthy slow piano version of the Deep Space Nine theme song while you're
Oh,
walking through
yeah.
here. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Wow, that's a mood.
Wow.
Like the penne that Warflex.
Oh my gosh. Huh.
I could look at this forever.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So anyway, so this is coming to a VR set near you. Is that what the point of this is? Look at this.
Or it already is. It's like an app
Right.
you can get for it.
So now they're on the Cerritos, it looks like.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. But it's so cool that
And now
you
there's the
can
D.
actually explore all of these. It's
I know.
so fun.
It's just they're just like little walkthrough thingies, and then you can like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
touch stuff for information and pick things up. Okay.
Oh, look at you can
I
let
want-
the shuttle out.
And you don't even get fingerprints on the screen.
Right.
Now I want to be like a Grand Theft Auto, where you go around and
Grand Theft Shuttle.
Yeah,
yeah,
Jake
Grand
was
Theft
the-
Shuttle.
Bye.
Bye, Picard.
So they're in the shuttle bay here. And then we'll just do a, okay, it looks like the bridge is next. Oh no, that was
Ooh, there's the
engineering. Here's the warp
warp
core.
core.
Engineering.
Put down your hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I know.
Watch where you're going. Oh, you could picture Geordi and Wes and Data leaning over this
Yes.
thing, right? Just kind of being
Yeah.
like, Captain, the best we could do is warp 5 under these conditions. I'll keep working on it, number 4.
Oh, you can press buttons.
Have you tried reversing the polarity?
Maybe. Oh, there's even Kelvin timeline.
Ooh. This is when it crashed.
Is that the saucer?
Yeah. So anyway,
I can't believe they had all this ready to go at once. But I know they've been working on it, I want to say decades, but at least a decade.
Yeah.
And like Rod Roddenberry tweeted, like they're so proud of it, as they should be. It's like so cutting edge.
It's
They
gorgeous.
should be.
Hundreds of years in the making.
Yeah, it's so great.
So that's that's how that thing works. Can any of you explain it? Because I don't understand it.
It's like a VR headset, and then you can go and visit these.
Well, I mean, are you walking or you're just looking around and you're just sitting and doing it? Because it looked like the person was just sitting and doing this, right?
Yeah, well, it's probably you have some, I'm sure there's some control or something you do that makes your character walk forward in the game, you know, but
yeah,
I don't
but
think
you're not
you have
actually
to
walking, right?
No,
you don't
no,
have
no.
to, but you can get gloves that attach to it, and then you can reach out and touch things.
Show me some glove.
Or something with controls where you reach out and touch things.
And like, I was just thinking, like, I know, well, I just get so motion sick, so I'm really glad that people put these videos up. But I know there are like some haters who were like, oh, this can just be on a computer screen. But I just feel like it's the first step to like advance. Everything has to start somewhere. Like computer games originally were not high, like everything starts somewhere. So I think that's such a great start. And I did not expect it to be so encompassing.
Yeah, well, and it is, if you ever worn a VR headset, and yes, you do have to get used to the visual of it, because at first I was like, I'm a little bit dizzy here, but it's a very different experience being with the VR headset and being in the actual world that you're viewing, rather than just looking at a screen. It is different.
Yeah, if it's done right, it feels real. You know, I was gonna say if it's done right, you know, when you wear the headset, it really does feel like you're in the space, and that's the immersive feeling versus like, oh, I'm just looking at the information and okay, this is cool and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like when they had like they had an exhibit at one of the more recent STLVs, and just like the amount of information that they're like making sure gets stored in this app, and like really making this like a library is so cool. And some of the information like I hadn't seen other places, so I feel like it's going to be like a really great resource.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
really exciting.
War Dogheim states something that tells us he's an expert in this field. And the way I know he's an expert is because there's a word in his response that I've never heard of, but seems like a word. He says, your gestures allow you to do various things in the simulacrum. It's pretty easy to use. Simulacrum.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Simulacrum.
I was just thinking about Barkley when he like I want to live on Voyager.
Now he can.
People won't take the headset off.
He'll be like, oh, hello, Mr. Neelix. Yes, I would love some Leola root. Thank you. Enjoyment.
This is my life now. I live on the Enterprise.
I have enjoyment of this. Thank you.
It does feel like it's one step closer to a holodeck or a holosuite.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Immerse yourself in worlds.
With Voyager.
I think that's the more like practical application or whatever of something like a holosuite, is that you're wearing goggles, then you see the thing instead of actually being in a room where there's holograms projected kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know, like if that's, obviously it's sci-fi that we're watching, but if that's something that even, you know, hundreds of years in the future, if that's the kind of technology that's even possible in any sense, versus something like this where it's like, yeah, I see where you could take the VR headset and just keep making that type of thing better and better and better.
Yeah.
And you're wearing a suit and you're on a thing, it's like a treadmill where you're walking around. Because they already have those. It's like a little circular treadmill, and you're like attached at the waist and you walk, and it doesn't matter. It tracks which direction you're going. And I think you add all those things. Or they have they're not escape rooms, but they're like little rooms where you walk around, like Ghostbusters and stuff like that in Star
I did
Wars.
one of those. I did one of those. And by the way, War Dog Heim says it's simulacrum, obviously. Simulacrum. There's one of those at Downtown Disney by Disneyland in Anaheim. And I think I mentioned it before, where it's a Star Wars one, and you're like infiltrating stormtroopers and stuff like that. And you're in there, and they're like, do you get like motion sickness on VR? And you're like, I don't know. We're about to find out.
Yeah.
And Scott, you know them, and Melissa, you know them. It was with Paul Hickman and our buddy Russ Emanuel, producers and directors there. And the three of us were just like, whoa, there's a Star Wars VR thing. You want to do it? And we're like, we don't have time.
Oh, no.
But yeah, let's do it anyway.
Okay.
And, so we went, and I think we had just eaten those giant cupcakes at like some cupcake place.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're full of cupcakes. And we're like, this is going to be weird. And then we're all hepped up on sugar. And then you put the thing, but it's really cool because then you're like looking down. You feel like you're looking down at like a fire pit, and there's like, they got heat coming at you, and you're shooting stuff. And it was a good time. That kind of stuff and that was 2 years ago. So I'm sure it's just getting better.
And you're just walking around in like a black room.
Voyager episode Equinox, where like that ship that's been lost has the VR headsets. I feel like that's like more practical too, because no one ever talks about the roster to get holodeck time, and it's like a huge ship, and there aren't that many rooms, and people go hang out there forever, and the main bridge crew clearly is always going in. So I'm like, what about the other like 1,000 people on the ship? Where's their holodeck time?
They have lives.
If there's holodecks on every level at different points at every level.
Like I think it's just for the lonely people
on the blueprints.
But it's for this VR thing, it's always only a matter of time before a certain industry is going to infiltrate it, and it's going to be like 90% of it's going to be funded by that, where it's like, I'm getting the new VR goggles. Oh, what are you going to do on it? You're going to go sail the seven seas? Don't worry about it, Dick. I'm just getting the new VR goggles because it's going to be fun and entertain me. I'm going to do it by myself at 1 a.m. And it's going to be fun. That's all. Why? Leave me alone. Let me borrow $20.
That's already a thing.
Yeah, and then you have your special program. You get it all customized for you, and you're in the VR thing, and you walk in the room, and there's your special lady, but she's got Armin Shimmerman for a head.
Yeah, like the episode.
Callback.
Yeah. So on that note, quick Star Wars news, since we're talking Star Wars. What? Star Wars? Yeah.
What?
Star Wars is great. Star Wars itself tweets out on twitter.com, congratulations to Stephen Barton and Gordy Hobb on their Grammy Awards for Best Score Soundtrack for Video Games and Other Interactive Media for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That's just kind of cool.
Stephen Barton of Star Trek Picard? Like, nobody's talking about
I don't know. Is it Stephen Barton of Star Trek Picard? Let's go back on this. Oh, there he is. He's the one that quote tweeted it.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's worked on apparently Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Smite 2, Star Trek Picard, The First Descendant, Apex Legends, Versus. That's smart. Titanfall, 12 Monkeys, etc. Oh, we know how he got into Picard then. You know how that worked out.
The gateway drug.
Yeah. So congratulations to Stephen Barton there. That's really cool. But look, everybody knows why we're really here. And it's to talk about the bunny. Trekmovie.com says...
Well, actually, I sent you 2 articles. So this is they just put this up, but it's their developing story. So the person who
Oh,
wrote this up very thoroughly is John Orchiola, and he wrote it in 2 parts. So I sent you
here
those
it is
two.
right here. Okay, so it's from
Yeah.
screenrant.com. We got it right here. Nicolas Cage, aka Put the Bunny Back in the Box. Nicolas Cage talks Star Trek movie hopes. I want to be on Enterprise. I want to be on the Enterprise. He's like, I don't want to be on Enterprise, guys. I want to be
The
on the
Enterprise.
Enterprise. So, is this real? Like, what's the story
Basically,
here?
like he did an interview, I think with Yahoo News a few years ago, saying that he wanted to be on Star Trek, and then he was at the Saturn Awards because he won for Renfeld, however you say that. And so he on the red carpet, people were quick to like follow up about his love of Star Trek and if he's still interested in being in it. And he has like specific sentiments. Like they're like, "Oh, you could be a great villain." And he's like, "No, I want to be like on the bridge."
He
He'd be a
wants to
villain
wear
on
the
the bridge.
uniform, but he wants to wear the uniform and he wants to be on the Enterprise.
Hudson, yeah, Calvin Hudson wore the Enterprise and he betrayed his uniform. So it's okay.
Oh, that's
Or he was
true.
on some starship. So here's a bit more on that from the Screen Rant article. Nicolas Cage still hopes to appear in a Star Trek movie and reveals how far talks went about joining the cast of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek 4. Whoa! By the way, this was sent in. John Orchiola sent this, I think, yesterday. And he said, because I know that every week must have Star Trek 4 news. And he is very right about that. Last year, Cage made headlines when he declared his love of Star Trek and his disinterest in being part of the Star Wars franchise. Ooh. Naturally, the idea of a lifelong Star Trek fan like Nicolas Cage squaring off against Chris Pine's Captain James T. Kirk and Zachary Quinto's Mr. Spock was an exciting prospect, but Star Trek 4 remains in development. Hell, despite recent reports that the next J.J. Abrams produced movie is still underway to be the, quote, final chapter of the Kelvin Timeline's USS Enterprise crew. Screen Rant caught up with Nicolas Cage on the red carpet of the 51st annual Saturn Awards, where he won Best Supporting Film Actor trophy for his role as Dracula in Renfield. Regarding Cage possibly joining the next Star Trek movie, the celebrated actor laid out his conditions, which includes stepping foot on the USS Enterprise. Read his quote below. Okay. So here's the quote below. Scroll down. It is a little something like this. Quote, there were a couple of phone calls. I don't know. I have to see a script. It would have to be something that I could really add my flavor to, have some pop and some spark. I wouldn't want to just do anything because I have so much love for the franchise. I want to be on the Enterprise. Ideally, I'd have to be on the Enterprise in some capacity. I don't want to be floating in space on a satellite. I want to be on the bridge, but they have to bring it to me. Oh, as in the script. So I think that's certainly a possibility, right? He could be like some admiral in the Kelvin 4, movie where, he's on the bridge for a while. He tells them, tut, tut, you better, better, better. And then he's kind of an adversary to Kirk, but he's still a good guy in his mind because he's trying to do what's best for the Federation. Maybe Kirk is off gallivanting and humping Orion women, so he has to take over the bridge for a while. I don't know. Possibilities are endless.
You could carry on the torch for admirals across the Trek universe.
He just like had some really sweet things to say too. Like John Orchiola put it into 2 different articles, but in the other one, he's talking about like why Star Trek more than Star Wars. And he's like, well, he was part of that syndication generation who grew up watching TOS in syndication in the 70s. And he was like, he knows they're devout followers of both, but he said, like, for Star Trek, it's a spiritual experience. I grew up watching Trek, and I found a lot of wisdom in those early television shows. That's why I lean towards that. And I'm like, oh, that is so sweet. There is a lot of wisdom in those.
There
I could-
are.
It is
I could-
spiritual.
I could see Cage as like a Vorta.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Huh.
I was seeing him as a Bolian. For some reason, I was picturing him
Ooh.
as a Bolian because, you know, he played like Red Skull, right? Or no, did he play Red Skull?
No,
No,
that was
he was Ghost Rider.
yeah, it was Ghost Rider, yeah.
So he's got he's already had like the full thing. I didn't see Ghost Rider, although there's a really, really scary roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm in Anaheim called Ghost Rider. When I say scary, I mean it's because it's extremely wooden and rickety, and you fear for your life. You feel like it's going to break. You're like, oh, this is it. This is how I'm going to go. That's fine. I understood the risks. But then you survive, and you're like, you mean it's supposed to feel like it's going to I'm gonna write it again just to be sure. And it's so rickety, like it was like I pulled my neck and like I had a soreness, like it was injuring me because it's just violent and horrible.
Oh yeah, I've ridden one of those.
Yeah.
Not at
have that one
Knott's
that-
Berry Farm, but
Yeah, they got the one at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, the Big Dipper or whatever. It's this really old roller coaster, and it's scary because you feel like it's gonna fall apart while you're
Yeah.
on it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
scary.
I'm gonna die because this thing is just gonna collapse. you
yeah.
know?
Yep. There for those Colorado people out there, the old Elitches before they moved had one of those old rickety roller coasters as
Elitches?
well. Elitches, yeah.
And everybody knows Ghost Rider is also an excellent song by the Rollins Band.
Mhm.
Everybody check that out. Great song. So we've got a new poll in the live chat. The question is, do you want to see Nick Cage on the Enterprise in Star Trek 4? The options are yup, nope, or put the bunny back in the box. Okay. I think it'd be cool.
Why not?
I think if a known actor wants to be on Star Trek, let's do it. Get more fans involved.
Want to do some Saturn Award talk? Just because there is a live event at 9:32 tonight.
9:32,
Or
they're gonna be
9:30
late.
Eastern. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, that is everybody on the Sci-Fi Sisters YouTube channel right after this video in 21 minutes, I thought, but apparently 23 minutes. The Sci-Fi Sisters are going to have Derek Attico, the writer of, thank you, of the autobiography of Captain Benjamin Sisko, as well as the emissary's son, Sirach Lofton. They're both going to be joining the Sci-Fi Sisters. It's going to be great. You got to check it out. I believe it's live. In fact, I'm sure it's live. And that's going to be in just 20 short minutes. So before we get into those full details, check it out. Saturn Awards. People were talking about this a couple nights ago, but it's pretty big news.
Yeah.
Look at this crew right here. Look at this lovely
Gorgeous.
crew. So we've got Jerry Ryan won something, Patrick Stewart won something. The Next Generation crew was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award as
The whole cast.
a unit,
Yeah.
including
As the-
Wesley.
as a
Yeah.
TNG unit.
Wow.
G unit, you see. So
Mm.
Yeah.
so where's the rundown of the wins? Let's see. So here it is. Pull that up. Star Trek Picard started with 7 total nominations in 5 categories and came away with 4 wins, including Best Science Fiction Television Series. It beat Star Trek Strange New Worlds, as well as &/or Foundation, The Mandalorian, and Silo. On hand to accept the award were series star Sir Patrick Stewart, showrunner Terry Matalas, cast members Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan, and season 3 guest stars Todd Stashwick, Brent Spiner, Michael Dorn, and Marina Sirtis.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, and
Another
Dave
Best Timing
Blass
nomination,
posted
too.
this. Good buddy
Mhm.
Dave Blass. And Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart also won Best Actor in a Television Series for his work in Picard. So that's also great. Were there others? I think that
So there's like
Jerry
a couple
Ryan.
like interesting footnotes. Like Patrick Stewart beat out Anson Mount, but like amazing to be nominated, like amazing category.
yeah, it
Um,
continues. The Picard wins kept coming, with Jonathan Frakes winning for Best Supporting Actor in a Television Series. He beat Picard cast members Ed Speleers, Todd Sashik, okay, as well as Ethan Peck, blah, 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 blah. Matt Smith of House of the Dragon. He was freaking phenomenal. My goodness.
So good.
In House of the Dragon. Everybody that hasn't checked that out, Matt Smith, never saw him in Doctor Whom, but when I was like, wait a minute, Matt
So
Smith,
good.
isn't that a Doctor Whom? I'm not gonna like
And
this.
The
That's not
Crown.
gonna work.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
What an actor. Jonathan Frakes was not able to attend due to his filming schedule, of course. Finally, for Picard, Jerry Ryan won Best Supporting Actress in a Television Series. She beat Strange New Worlds actresses Jess Bush and Celia Rose Gooding, as well as Genevieve O'Reilly in Andor, Katie Sackhoff in The Mandalorian, Sophie Skelton, Outlander, and Rebecca Wysocki in Ghosts.
Oh, so good.
That's
Great
also a Paramount
category.
Plus thing, right?
Ghost was nominated quite a bit too.
So that seems like it was a really big day for Star Trek. It seemed like quite a bit, right? Picard won 4 awards, and there were 2 more Star Trek wins, it
Yeah,
seems.
I mean the impressive thing was that like they're on Wikipedia they broke down like nominations by series. So the show that had the most nominations of all was Picard with 7. Strange New Worlds was second with 6. They beat Andor with 5. And then
That's
also
so
the other
awesome.
Picard
Paramount
with
show Ghost.
7.
Yeah. And the Paramount show Ghost got nominated 3 times. Like not a bad day for
So
Paramount
great.
Plus.
Yeah.
Excellent. It reminds me of the Star Trek Awards show, the Lappy Awards, which is in less than 2 weeks, everybody. Sunday, February 18th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live, because Picard has a lot of nominations, a lot of finalists there, as do Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, and even short treks. Sorry, very short treks.
There was one other Star Trek award that got like people kind of like didn't really mention it, but it was for best 4K home media release, which is our friend Darren Doctorman for the motion picture, director's edition.
That's really cool. We love Darren Doctorman, but what's he been up to lately?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. He has a new podcast slash YouTube show, and it's called, I always have to think about it.
Weirded Beardos.
Yes, and it's with Kirk Thatcher. And
Kirk Thatcher.
They just started a few weeks ago, and so usually they're pre-recorded, and then they said for virtual TrekCon 5, we'll learn how to go live on YouTube. So they're all set to go live for their first time ever for virtual TrekCon 5, and they're so cute together. They just look like a couple of Santa Clauses in casual wear. So cute.
Yeah. I wonder if I could pull up a little preview of what it looks like real quick. Check this out, everybody. Here it is. So here's a little preview of what their show is going to be like. You remember Kirk Thatcher as the punk on the bus. Okay.
Remember him at the Lappy Awards last year when the punk on the bus won, and then he couldn't be there live, so he sent in a video, and it was like Kenny G. He was like by a water
it's a lake. It's a lake.
Some sort of like lake that was like it was like a stream that was like bubbling by, and he like his wife like zoomed in on him, and he was like, "Thank you so much for the award." It was like very zen.
Look how great these guys are. I cannot wait to see this. I think that's going to be their series premiere, right?
Well,
it's going to be their first episode.
It's their first live show. I think it'll be their 4th or 5th actual like episode thing.
We'll take it. That's freaking exciting.
Plus, to learn how to go live for virtual TrekCon, I was like, that's the ultimate commitment to fans.
Yep, we love those guys. Also, check this out. We've got a few minutes left to check out something very important. We saved the best for last. Who sang that song?
Vanessa Williams.
Thank you. Also of Star Trek lore. She lives on Risa.
She took Jake Briscoe's trailer.
That's
And
Yes.
he
right.
walked in on her.
Funny story.
Yes.
Check this out. See Worf pursue. Here's the key, everybody. I
A
know a
lotion monster.
lot of you think it says Ioshan, but no, this alien race is called the Lotians. I can tell. See Worf pursue and Lotion typo and Lotion mobster and his crew of Gorn gangsters. Star Trek
Ooh.
Defiant 11. And he's saying, here's the real problem with democracy. There ain't no money in it.
See?
And then he's say, Gorn mobsters. What is the world coming to?
I love it. I love everything about this so much.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
going
they
on?
got nice
Like
hats.
during when we were putting the lappies together for those like original voting, like voting for the finalists, I entered a bunch of aliens, and Ryan was like, "Who are the Lotions?" Like, it's a capital I.
Nope, it's
Oh,
the
too
Lotions.
funny.
Everybody
I'm
knows
never
it's the
gonna stop laughing
Lotions.
at that.
The best alien race ever. From a
It's a bunch
piece
of
of the
Buffalo
action.
Bills.
A piece of the action. Scott knows it well.
Mm,
Remember that one where they go see the Chicago gangsters or whatever?
Chicago
And they
Mamba
play
Machines.
Fizz. They play Fizzbin.
Fizzbin, which is also in the lappies.
I almost said Fizz Gig, but Fizz Gig was from the Dark Crystal, that ugly dog.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that show's so good.
Joshua M. Patton says the Lotions are my favorite Star Trek idiots.
Yeah. The lotions smell great, like petunias and such. Okay.
So fun.
So a little further down on this, here's the synopsis. The Defiant crew faces their most dangerous bounty in the finale of Defiant Arc 2. Lotion gangster Benny the Munch is in
Just
town.
look like lotion.
Is in town looking to expand his turf, you see. And he's not stopping until he owns every living being in the galaxy, see? Meanwhile, when Captain Worf sends Nymera on an undercover mission to uncover the infamous mobster's grand plans, she finds herself volunteering her captain to fight Benny's prized Gorn goon in a Creel death tournament known as the Koshbot Death Crucible. Whoops. That's what it said. It says whoops.
I have to say, this is the greatest comic book of all time from this article.
So this is IDW, everybody. Check it out. This is amazing.
I love the font.
All right. So that's just something you can't miss because it's all about the lotions.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
So is there a Lappy Award for best like graphic novel or best like print something
that's a good
something to do
question.
with maybe next year, huh?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Best
idea.
novel or best, something, best written.
We do love the art things. Like we have a best ship battle. That's a great one. That we have that category. And the Iosans, some call them the Lotions, are a finalist in most fun alien race in Star Trek. They are a finalist along with other races like the Enterpriseians and
Kumar, like
let's
Leonard
pull them
Crowfoot
up.
from the episode Virtuoso by Voyager.
Yeah, so let's see. These are the races. The Lotions, the Antikins, the Mintakins, the Dosai, the Baku, the Komar, the Duplers, of course. How can I forget the Duplers? And the Enterpriseians.
That's an epic list.
Love them.
Oh, shoot. I just raised my hand.
That turned out to be one of my favorite categories.
Oh, so much fun. Okay. So up next, everybody, from a website called facebook.com, Trek Central posts new novelization, the Seven and Rafi audiobook adventure, hashtag Star Trek Picard No Man's Land, is getting a full novelization written by Kirsten Beyer. We know her well. And Mike Johnson It's set for release November 5th. Oh, that's far away. 2024. But you can pre-order now. Might as well. Imagine if you pre-order this 9 months in advance. By then you forget about it. Suddenly there's just a thing at your doorstep and you're like, what's this? Whoa. It's got to be pretty cool.
A gift to yourself.
It totally is.
Okay, and then I also sent you in Facebook Messenger, Mohammed, like MVP Mohammed, put a post in the virtual Trecon group of how to do your Lappy predictions. And then it also includes the one-page document where you can do a little cheat sheet of who you predicted and then post on social media as we get closer to the Lappies. So everyone
I love how
can see
funny it is
smart you are.
that even when Mohammed can't be on the show, we still harass him to post things for us and
He's
do work for us.
Yeah.
So this is in the virtual TrekCon Facebook group. The aforementioned Dr. Mohammed Noor says he's a group expert, everybody. Thank goodness for that. Download your guess sheet for the 2024 Lappy Awards here. Fill it in and post a photo of it on your socials. If you guess correctly, see if you guess correctly. The link for the sheet is right here. And if you haven't done the poll to guess, please do so at this link. So this is great. So this way you can have a little one sheet where you can fill in your guesses and like first you fill out your guesses here. You give your answers and then you can write them out on this little Dropbox thing, right?
Okay, my favorite is when people like Lisa, One Trek Fan, or Dave Gregory or Glenn Iverson then correct their own sheet with like red pen.
Yes.
So cute.
So this way you can keep track of it so that as the Lappy Awards are going, you don't have to like remember, well, which one did I pick? You just kind of write your little answers here. And it keeps it super concise and easy. Great stuff by Dr. Mohammed Noor here. It's your actual prediction for who you think the fans chose to win, not necessarily like who you voted for. Exactly, because you're not voting for who you want to win. You're trying to win yourself by guessing what get in the mind of the nerds. Yeah.
Guess who just showed up in the live chat?
Tell us.
Oh my gosh,
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Oh, what do you know?
What do you know?
So nice. And for War.Time, I put it in the Seventh Rule Discord so that people who aren't on Facebook can see it.
Fantastic. Great stuff, everybody. Okay, so let's talk about, also very quickly, one final thing on twitter.com. Scott calls it X. But it says bloody twitter.com. Sean Giambroni says, get ready for the Solar Opposites declaration of war on Valentine's Day. Don't miss the Solar Opposites Valentine's Day special, Monday, February 5th on Hulu. Oh, that's now. Great Valentine package. Thanks, Solar and Hulu.
And Mike McMahon.
Exactly. That's the point.
Yes.
All right, great stuff. So let's talk about this week, everybody, very quickly. Check this out. So on Monday, just yesterday, on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we released our full review of Survivors Next Generation Season 3, Episode 3. That's the one with good tea, nice house, great Worf quote. You can watch that on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. It's full, it's done, it's ready for you. Tonight, right after this show, in just 5 minutes, go to the Sci-Fi Sisters YouTube channel and check them out. Go say hi to Derek. Go say hi to Saru. Go say hi to the sisters. Tell them the main viewer sent you. Or just tell them hi. Then tomorrow on the Falling Tower YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, to watch the first podcast, we have our full review. We're starting Sci-Fi Month, everybody, by the way. This is Sci-Fi Month on the Falling Tower YouTube channel. We are doing our full review of an interesting new Amazon Prime show called Beacon 23 with special guest Scott Baker.
That's me.
You get twice the Scott.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's great, Scott.
Mm.
So he's like,
See
I heard
what
that
you
a
did
million
there.
times, kid. So 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Wednesday, on the Falling Tower YouTube channel, Beacon 23, Dr. Muhammad Noor, myself, and Scott Baker review that show. It's Sci-Fi Month, everybody. It's going to be
It was
nuts.
a show. I can confirm that Beacon 23 was a show that was sci-fi.
Show.
That's
Can't beat
the only
it.
spoiler I'll give. Yeah, technically.
I'll give a spoiler. Let me see.
Freeze frame.
I'll give a spoiler. Scott, Muhammad, and I were not very far in our points that we gave it and our ratings. We were all pretty close.
Okay.
Okay. Then on Thursday, we'll probably have a nice throwback Thursday episode for all of y'all on the 7th Rule YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Probably. No promises. Probably. 6 p.m. Pacific. See you there. Then on Friday, come right back here on the virtual Trecon YouTube channel. It's very important because this is the Star Trek and Chill, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Star Trek and Chill season finale. All that means is that we started it on virtual TrekCon, and so the season premiere is always on virtual TrekCon, but it's the last one, so it's going to be a big bonanza. We're going to be ending some aspects of it. Season premiere, it's like on TV shows.
Am I getting voted off?
Yes, somebody gets killed in TV shows. So
Wow.
somebody will leave the show forever. It's going to be pretty interesting.
And then next week we'll be like, previously on Star Trek and Chill.
Yep. People are going to be like, next week, they're going to be like, why am I enjoying this show so much more? And where's Ryan? What happened? This show's great all of a sudden. Okay, then on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, that's 12 p.m. Eastern time on the 7th Rule YouTube channel, we have our first segment review of The Price. The Price, with the writer of the episode, Hannah Louise Shearer, joining us, which is freaking amazing. She's the one, speaking of TV deaths, she's the one that wrote Armis killing Tasha Yar.
Yes.
So we're a little upset with her.
How rude.
And then on Monday, next Monday, on the 7th Rule YouTube
Nice
channel
Full House
as well.
Callback.
We've got Who Watches the Watchers. Stay tuned for that next week, though.
The
That's it
Mintakins
for us.
episode. Speak of the Mintakins.
Yep,
But
love it.
You know what's cool about Hannah Louise Shear though, really fast for The Price? Like when that actual like guests ask requests for specific episodes, I feel like that's always a really good sign. So that was the case for this Sundays.
That's
So
true.
stay tuned.
She did specifically ask for this episode. She must have really liked it. So, Melissa Longo, can you tell everybody where they can find you and your wares online?
On social media at Melissa Longo, Malissa, and the introvertedrepublic.com at Walking Art Made by Melissa and Walking Art Made by Melissa on Patreon. There is some exciting stuff happening there.
Oh.
Stay tuned.
Oh. Check it out, everybody. What's up with you, Scott? Where can people find you online and your stuff?
Instagram, Mr. Scotty Baker. Also on the X Twitter thingy, Mr. Scotty Baker. I don't post on Twitter too often these days. But I'm also doing a thing because I'm a longtime Magic the Gathering player. I'm doing this thing with Amped Gaming, and it's this channel where we do Magic the Gathering play. But on Friday, we're having this. It's like a mini documentary that I made with one of our friends who plays Magic. He's got this great backstory that I think is really interesting and moving, that kind of transcends and is appealing to more than just Magic players. So if you check out Amped Gaming on Friday, we'll have the little mini documentary is gonna drop. So check it out. Even if you don't like magic, I think it might be something that you find interesting. So
Yep.
Totally.
Documentaries
Yeah.
are always interesting, even if it's something you know nothing about. It gets fun.
yeah, so it's only like 15 minutes. So it's like a little short documentary. It's a mini
It's
mini
called
doc,
like
if you will.
Amped what? Amped,
Amped
Gaming?
gaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. You go on the.
My brother was a professional magic player, so I'm like, I
I've
have
heard
to watch
about
now.
it.
Plus, I love documentaries.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, check it out.
Well, speaking of mini docs, what about you, Anne Marie? Where can people find you online?
Twitter at
Nice.
Anne-Marie1.
All right, very nice. And everybody, you can find me on twitter.com at RyanTGHusk. Once again, that's at RyanTGHusk, or just Falling Tower, The Seventh Rule, or Virtual Trecon on your favorite social media, but especially right here on YouTube. All right, everybody, thanks for the fun. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, 5-star rating if you're listening in. We really appreciate that. Once this is over, hit the refresh button, leave us a nice comment below. Tell us what you think of Magic the Gathering. And by the way, in the poll, it said, do you want to see Nick Cage on the Enterprise in Star Trek 4? 67% of you said, yep. Did we just become best friends? Yep. All right.
See everybody at the Sci-Fi
Step
Sisters live
Brothers.
show.
I think that's Step Brothers.
Okay.
Yes. So everybody, oh, good job, Anne-Marie. You put it in the live chat for them. We'll see you there. That's it, everybody. When you want to talk about Saru and Doug Jones, because who doesn't, put it on the main viewer.